So I want to continue here about the Calvinists, that they believe that Adam's sin, his guilt, was imputed to men after Adam until Moses. Because they'll tell you there was no law between Adam and Moses. Therefore, Adam's sin was imputed on the man. So the men after Moses were guilty of Adam's sin. That is wrong. Now, I'm probably going to leave more I'm just going to focus right here. I'm probably going to leave more questions unanswered because the rest of this does get very complicated. But I'm here to prove just one point, that there has to be a law. Sin is transgression of the law. Then there has to be a law. Now, let's go to where the Bible gives a definition of what sin is. Is esteem. I'll show you. And the definition is right here. 1 John 3:4. Whoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. Whoever commits sin transgresses the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Sin is the transgression of the law. When you see this word is, and it's here in the Greek too, right here, you can just put an equal sign right there. That's what it equals. That's a definition of sin, is transgressing the law. Now in Greek, now this is what you call a translation. If you were to what's called a transliteration, translate this literally from Greek, it would be, actually would not make any sense in English. The everyone. Poeo. The everyone doing, it's a verb. The everyone doing or making the hamartia. Hamartia. Hamartia is the Greek word meros, which means a portion, with an alpha privative on it. Everyone making the no portion. And here's where you get the word kai, which is typically translated and. Which here is very... you put and in there, just makes it more confusing. I'll get there. The everyone making the no portion and the anomia. So here we have again a word with an alpha privative, nomos, which is the word law with an alpha privative. The everyone making the no portion and the no law making. And the no law is the no law. Now, if you just translate that straight, man, it doesn't make no sense at all. You have to translate it. Now hamartia, that's you can look that word up, and it's typically missing the mark. The everyone doing the missing mark. This is the verb, making the missing the mark. Now, in order to do missing the mark, there has to be a mark to miss. I mean, hello. The no law making. To make no law, that doesn't mean you make a law. That means you're committing or making no law. There has to be a law. There has to be. And the missing the mark is the no law. There has to be a mark to miss. There has to be a law to miss or to transgress. That's why you have to translate it. Because if you transliterate it, it wouldn't even make sense in English. So this is, to me, a fine translation. Or breaking the law. Whoever commits sin breaks the law. The law. Excuse me. The law. The law. The law. The law. The no law breaks the law. Whoever committeth sin transgresseth or transgresseth also the law, or breaks the law. For sin is the breaking of the law. That's a definition of what sin is. Hamartia, missing the mark. That's a definition of it. When you see this Greek word esteem, you put an equal sign there. That's what it equals. Now, go back. Therefore, just as by one man broke the law, entered the world, lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, pride of life, and death by sin, and thus death spread to everyone. How did it spread? By breaking the law. Now, here it's going to say that they didn't sin or break the law like Adam broke the law. But my point is, nonetheless, they broke the law. Death by breaking the law. By sin, because sin is breaking the law. That's how death spread to everyone. They broke the law. Now, because until the law, sin was in the world. Because until the law, sin was in the world. Now, it's talking about the law. He's talking about from Adam to Moses. This law is talking about the law of Moses, Mount Sinai. From the time of Adam to Moses. From the time of Adam to Moses, sin breaking the law was in the world. And here's where they get confused. But sin is not imputed where there is no law. So they tell you there's no law, so it has to be Adam's sin. No. But sin is not imputed where there is no law. But there's sin. It just literally says it. But sin is not imputed where there is no law, so there has to be a law. You see it? You see it? It is impossible for there to be sin and no law, because sin is breaking the law. Now, am I making myself clear? Therefore, going forward, whatever question I'm leaving, and maybe I'll go through the rest later, I'm trying to prove a point. Therefore, going forward, well, whatever you're reading all here, there has to be a law. Some way, shape, or form, there has to be a law. And yes, there's a law. It's written in the heart. So the law is, go back to Romans 2. There was a law accusing one another. They can't accuse one another if there's no law. They become a law unto themselves. But there's a law. Because that's what sin is. Transgression of the law. You must define the words, and you must adhere to the definitions before it's going to make sense. If you leave definition, you leave the truth. Period. And the definition of sin is right here. For sin is the transgression of the law. Am I making myself clear?